Alright, Diablo 4 players, let's talk about the Lunar event disaster that is currently going on with a brand new event. I mean, it's basically a 30-minute event that they kind of hyped up, that they've been posting everywhere, whether it's X, over on Instagram. They're basically showing off this, like, brand new Lunar thing that's supposed to be exciting, and it is so quick to just go ahead and consume. Even for a casual player, you will blaze through the content. So first off, let's go and show off, like, a brief, like, minute gameplay of the area, and then I'm going to go ahead and go over what's in the event, and then we're going to talk about the problems that this event has actually generated and why people are kind of upset. So starting right off, you basically go to these newer areas, and I put it in kind of air quotation because it's the same map essentially. You go to the areas that have this little like icon here where it says like cleanse the Lunar Shrine. Now, the reason why it's kind of a problem in terms of the way it's designed, you see this and your brain goes, okay, well, you just go over here, right? No, that's not actually how it works. You go over here and there's nothing. How it works is you go over to it and then you just gotta go kind of look for these shrines. Now, I already had this one kind of set up, and I'll go show you guys the brand new gameplay here of some of these things. One of them, there is like a newer little like mechanic where you can get some obols, and how it works is you've got to see, like I said, you normally think over here, but sometimes it could be a little bit further away. We'll go ahead and just go complete one. So these shrines are essentially the newer gameplay. These shrines give you some bonus effects, whether it's giving you goblins to spawn in, or like this one. Okay, that just disappeared on me. This is another problem that has actually occurred with this update, is apparently some of the chests are disappearing in the game. There was a hotfix, and I think we need another hotfix. And what I find so crazy with the updates that Diablo is getting, it's just like they update something and they're like, okay guys, hotfix it. Like, is it not ready to be released? It's consistently a problem with Diablo 4. It's almost like they're releasing it way too early before even testing it internally at all. I mean, you couldn't even complete some of the quest lines. Okay, so here's a greed shrine. Now, this one's kind of interesting because how it works is there's going to be monsters that spawn in. Well, the hotfix clearly did not work. There's still monsters that came in. Monsters are supposed to spawn in. Now, with this one, how it works is I'm supposed to be able to spawn in a goblin after 25 kills, and it only works twice. So I can get a bonus of 2 goblins. Where'd the goblin go? We should be able to. Okay, did we not? We didn't even get. Did it, maybe it's bugged. I don't know. That's genuinely something that could have actually happened here. But pretty much all that there's these new shrines, and they give you bonus effects. Sometimes you get an extra like explosion, or you get some sort of bonus in terms of like how effective it is. Think of basically getting almost 2 shrines in one. That's pretty much the event here, and you can get a bunch of free cosmetics. Now, the other cosmetics, let's see if we can even go here. It's supposed to be somewhere over here. I've already completed the thing 100%, and here's my honest review of the Lunar event. It's way too quick, and it doesn't add that much content in the game to keep people interested in past literally 30 minutes. Like, I kid you not, even as a casual player, you can complete everything. All you need to do is interact with the shrines, and then you'll have this NPC over here, and then these are the rewards. So I'll show you guys the final reward. Now, what's interesting is some of the stuff that was actually posted was pretty insane, and I kind of have my tinfoil hat on now, and I'll explain. So basically, gold is worthless in the game. If you've played the game, like 300,000 as the final tier, and I gave Blizzard feedback directly and said, what are you guys doing with this gold? Why is the reward not only gold in general, but like the reward in the amount of gold shows that the player, whoever is designing this, does not play the game. 300,000 gold as the final reward is absolutely laughable. It's not even enough. Like, you could add up all of the gold, and on some of my items, I would not be able to reroll one time. Like, it's crazy. How is the reward going from like 10,000? Like, even at 10,000, like, that's nothing. Have you played the game? Like, honestly, it is laughable. Now, some of these little spoils things, they can give you these other things that you can open up, and it'll give you. Do I have one over here? What? Okay, here it is. So it has what's called Ancestor's Favor on another nightmare dungeon, and all it does is gives you extra shrines that spawn in, and it gives you 10%. 10% is, again, another laughable number when it comes down to actually playing the content. Sure, this lasts more than 30 minutes because you're going to be able to keep on doing these nightmare dungeons again and again, and then you get some bonus XP at the end for your glyphs. So as far as like the open world content, it's whatever. This, I mean, I could do it, but it doesn't really matter. I'd rather show you guys kind of the core problem with it. So again, you get all these cosmetics. So the blue ones, these are cool. I'll give them credit. It's cool to get all these cosmetics. But there was a post that I saw that was amazing. And I saw this complaint also with other Diablo partners. They're like, well, why the heck would you make these rewards, right? Like, I have all of the rewards, but I cannot actually use these because they're not for my class. I cannot just right click and it consumes and then I get the free cosmetic. So like normally you just go to the wardrobe and then you'd go to your items and then you would put on whatever skin that you unlocked. I don't remember, is it this one? I think this is the one for the season here, or the lunar event. And why is it a disaster? Well, the cosmetic is cool, but then it's just this cosmetic. If I wanted to actually get the rest of the cosmetics, how do I actually get the ones that are shown off in all these trailers? Brand new, you know, lunar event where they have it in the trailer, you have to buy it. And there's no like other way to get these cosmetics. And if you want the cool cosmetics, well, that's where you get them. Here, let me see, where's the lunar? So these are only limited for like 12 days, right? So here's what the skins look like. I'm just gonna mouse over them real quick so you guys can see every single thing that's in this event. So yeah, you get a bunch of different cosmetics. You do have a horse skin, but the horse skin, you of course want the armor with it, but you have to purchase the platinum to get it. So this is where players are kind of upset about it. And I'll show you guys the horse mount. And you guys can see, this is the horse that you get. Well, it's the horse, not the horse armor. But it's just like a red horse, okay? That's the cosmetic that you get. And that's probably the coolest thing. That's the final reward. So we've completed all of it. Again, it's super short. But let me go and actually bust out some other posts that I want to go over that are related. So the whole event is not able to keep people interested in the game, and I think that this is kind of a problem because when you have this brand new event, I think 30 minutes is way too short. That's at least my personal opinion. But on top of that, this event wasn't so insane that like people that weren't interested in the season, they're like, okay, I'm hopping off. I don't see people looking at this event and going, wow, this is so awesome, I want to go ahead and play. There's also more lag with this update. I experienced this myself. They recently had another update where the chests disappear. I just showed you guys, I clicked on the shrine and nothing was supposed to, like, a bunch of monsters are supposed to happen. Now, there was a hotfix that came out today, and it still has the issues, as you guys just saw. When I clicked on the shrine, monsters did not spawn in. So they actually, this is a post, shout out to Filthy Rich, though, because this guy actually knows Diablo. There are a few people, honestly, that I have spoken to and played with, you know, I have him on my friends list. Filthy Rich, he understands the game very well. He played a Ball Lightning Sorceress, he played a low life build, so he understands the game. So if we can get Filthy Rich to have a little bit more power, I would say, in the game, that would be a step in the right direction. But basically, he's just mentioning, he's a community manager. He just mentioned that there's going to be some changes here. They updated the Awakening pool of the Reputation reward caches with the appropriate world tier qualities, but what about the other people that already opened it? Well, there's a problem there. But at the end of the day, it's better that it's getting fixed, but for the people that are experiencing it, well, you're not going to be able to keep on getting those caches, right? So they fixed some bugs where they fixed an issue where monster waves were only spawning for the first player that clicks the shrine in the zone. But I just opened up that shrine with the goblins, and there wasn't any monsters killed, therefore I couldn't spawn the goblins. And then they fixed some issues where you could not actually progress, some people couldn't actually engage with it, and there's general performance improvements, which hopefully is some of the lag issues that you were getting. Now, what I thought was even more insane was this tinfoil hat theory. Now, this is something that another Diablo content creator that I follow, you guys probably know him, Rob, a great barbarian player, but nonetheless, he was like, why am I experiencing this where like I go and I have these items and I like normally when you get the bow, you right click on it and it just consumes it, right? How come it doesn't just consume it? Like if I go with the battle pass and I just get the skin, even though let's say my character can't use a two-handed sword, I just hit claim it. It just claims it in my account, right? So in order to actually claim and use these new cosmetics, you actually have to swap to that character. So what that means is if I already have all these other characters who are level 100, I have to delete my old characters. And why is that important? Because then you make a new character. And what does this tinfoil hat like little post over here say? Well, it's a theory that they're making it so you're making more characters so they can get these numbers, so they can tell their investors, wow, this season we've had people create 50% or 200% more characters in this season alone. That right there, because there's no way, and I mentioned this as soon as I was like, why can't I consume it? And people are like, no, you have to make another character. It's the stupidest thing ever. And I was like, there is no way that this was tested in a sense where, you know, any player could realize that this is a problem, because that means I'd have to make all 5 characters if I wanted to use all of the skins, right? So I was like, there's got to be a reason why they're doing it, and now I totally believe this tinfoil hat theory, which is basically they're making it artificially inflated to make the people think that there's more players. There's like, you know, X amount of characters created this season to make the season look beefier than it is for the players that, you know, don't understand. But I was also checking over on X, over on Instagram, just checking out what people are saying about the game. And honestly, this one over here, this is, again, this one, I don't really know how X works in terms of, like, the top posts. But, like, looking at the top posts, this one was nice. This is because I follow them. But, this one over here is Xbox, so maybe it's because it's, like, official here. But this good person saying the season's underwhelming. And then make sure you show off the god-awful cosmetics. I mean, this is ridiculous in terms of the negative feedback. Serious question, what's the point of these events if we have to restart and lose everything? I mean, they're just cosmetics, it doesn't really matter too much, but I think the guy's mostly upset about refarming all of, like, the legendaries and, you know, getting the uber uniques. Farming those again every single season is painful. We need a better source of getting the uber uniques. And just looking over at another post over here, this is another Lunar event over here. This person's asking for the XP buff to last the entire event instead of the shrine pop. They're having a lot of issues. Wow, cool, thanks for the update. A huge hype for the 30-minute event. Yeah, this is the problem. This event, you cannot, like, release an event and only have the gameplay, like, of the event so short. Like, it's crazy. Here's what would have been a cool suggestion. There's these new, because it's Year of the Dragon, that's the point, right? So why couldn't we've had, like, these new dragons? You could have copy and pasted some aspects from other, like, Blizzard games that would have been really cool to see, like, let's say the Hanzo dragon in Heroes of the Storm or something where you could just, like, copy and paste, like, the art assets. Maybe you can get a cool, like, dragon that would be some sort of a pet. I guess, you know, we have this seneschal, some sort of dragon pet that can fight alongside us, or just something that actually makes gameplay different. The core gameplay is the exact same. There is no new, like, dungeon with newer things to fight, or maybe there's, like, a lunar tiger that you can fight as, like, a special boss that's actually challenging. That would have been super cool. Another thing that would have been awesome is specifically adding legendary aspects, as well as even maybe newer items in the game, like uniques. Like, we could have had an item shoot out fire, because, you know, again, Year of the Dragon, I'm trying to think about the Lunar theme. Maybe something that has, like, fireworks that can shoot out, maybe a new ability, or just some sort of new legendary that all classes could use, and it either shoots out some sort of explosives. Again, something related to the Year of the Dragon would have been a lot more exciting than, well, we made shrines give you kind of like 2 effects, so to speak. And while that is overall a buff, it doesn't make players excited to come back and check out the content. And on top of that, the content that you would consume, you're just doing the things so you can get the cosmetics, and that only lasts, again, 30 minutes. Now, looking at other posts over here, this one person saying the barb armor is cool. I don't know if they can, like, pin or whatever. The shrine icons are on the map, but when we arrive, there's no shrines. This is a huge problem in its actual design, because, like I mentioned before, you'll see the shrine here, and you're like, okay, I'm going to go over here. But then you have to, like, go around in the area. They should have just marked the whole area. It could have just been, like, I guess, purple or whatever. But I want to see more stuff with this. And on top of that, over on Instagram, I mean, the #1 post, I don't know how it sorts it on Instagram, your game dies slowly. And then they're just kind of memeing on it. Even on Facebook over here, you can see someone's posted, and they're basically like, I went back to D3. This is the #1 comment over on Facebook. So, like, I'm not even trying to cherry pick. I'm showing you guys, like, there's a lot of negativity, and I want to say, in terms of feedback as a Diablo partner, you need to make these events more meaningful than, hey, we have weapon skins. This is basically copy-paste Midwinter Blight, but Midwinter Blight at least had the brew, which was like a potion that was, like, kind of good for certain stuff. And then there was also the legendary aspect that had, like, the, like, night and day, which was kind of an interesting thing. Just a little bit more content to consume at the end of the day would have been much better, as this was something I was really excited to check out, and it was a very big letdown considering you can complete it so fast. And on top of that, all the bugs and issues. I just hope Diablo can get it right, and I just don't know what point is this game going to be like, oh man, guys, log in. I'm super excited because while I was streaming, people were like, yo, what are your thoughts on the event? Is the event good? Is it time to log in? And I had to report, well, I mean, like, you can complete the whole thing in half an hour. You might as well get the free skins. So yeah, you log in now, but it's like, it's just for some skins. Like, when people are like, what's in the new event? Is there a new boss? Because that's what I look forward to in any new, like, league in, like, let's say Path of Exile or any new season. I want a new boss, a goal in mind. So if there was some sort of, like, new monsters to fight, they could have had all these, like, celestial zodiac monsters, you know, with the, of course, it being Lunar, New Year's. They could have had a bunch of monsters to kill, and at the end, there's like a dragon boss that you can defeat, and if you defeat the dragon boss, you get some legendary aspect. That would have been just like a pretty solid, like, little thing that you could consume. Anyways, that's my rant. What would you guys fix with the Lunar event? You guys can let me know down below, but I want to say this was just like such a disaster. On top of the gauntlet being another disaster, we'll talk about more stuff in another rant video, but I'm just begging Blizzard, please make these events more than just getting the weapon skins, and then to get the rest of the skins, well, you got to visit the shop, and they're not cheap. If these were like $5, I think that you would actually have a lot more sales. But to artificially inflate the numbers and require characters to be basically deleted just so that you have these artificially inflated numbers, I think some people are seeing past it. I got my tinfoil hat on this one, but anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're new here, hit sub. Turn on the bell if you'd like to see more Diablo and other gaming content. I'm out. Peace.